I only care about money. Hello, honey, I'm sorry I didn't hear you there.
Yeah, I know your feelings. Yeah, how's everything going? I'm sorry, it took me some while. Took me a
Don't worry.
while to.
Hey, we're still on. We're still recording. That's all that matters.
Yep. But yeah, these things are hella buggy, man. I mean, you never know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
how's your Monday going? And how is your week looking like? Like, what are your plans for
Better.
the week?
It's better because I've got a fast charger for my phone. So I'm on 62% now. So I'll tell you
Uh,
when it's on 100% because it shouldn't take long. Yeah.
oh, that's
Uh,
amazing.
Apart from that, I think, yeah, I mean, literally nothing really to talk. Well, nothing really to talk about. I say. Well,
Yeah, so I understand that. So today we're gonna be like talking about choices and dream zone in halves, like first choices and dream zone or whatever, in whatever order. So yeah, I
I
mean, uh,
I'd say we're doing um Dream Zone first. Dream Zone first.
dream zone first. All right. Yeah. So dream zone. I mean, what happened last week? It was predictable, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
you said, I said, we both said that um, guilty pleasure will end on chapter 8 and on sort of a cliffhanger or in a weird, like let's say place, like 8 chapters. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Predictable, but like it was. I'm not gonna lie to you, Ban. It was one of the worst endings I could have thought of for Dream Zone. To be honest with you,
Hmm. Yeah.
like the way it ended, I thought after all that time, it's saying it's him, it's going to be him in that chapter, and it turned out it wasn't actually. It could have been him, but did he actually kill himself, or is that me?
Yeah, that was really weird. How it ended, and I don't think like I think he was hanging from the noose or something, but I'm not
Yes.
sure if he killed himself or not. It could be. It
No.
could go either way. 50-50.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the worser endings I've probably seen in Dream Zone. To be honest with you, there was literally no reason for it to end there at all.
No. Yeah, I mean, Thirsty Girls and Adult Education, both of them had 8 chapters. And of
Yeah.
all the books that ended on 8 chapters, I can justify the Adult Education because at least that was, some sort of a closure for book one if it is gonna have a
Yeah.
book two. Thirsty Girls was still okay-ish because, even though we had a lot of questions and the way it ended, I think it was way, 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 way too small for a book one. But guilty pleasure, it was building up up really well. And then last chapter was interesting. Don't get me wrong, it was interesting. Stuff
Yep.
happened. Finding that guy, it was also an interesting thing. um but then the way it ended, like, because you don't know when the book two is going to come or whether it's going to come, so I think it's a bit underwhelming to get that.
Exactly, and I have no reason to justify why it was ended that early.
Yeah, me too.
I can't think of any other reason, but yeah. Well, I think it could have ended a couple minutes later or something,
i
but
I know,
yeah,
like, like the chapters could have been longer,
yeah,
and Dream
I,
Zone
I,
chapters are really short. Historically.
yeah. Lately, they have been, and coupled in with it being um really, really only 8 chapters, it just it, it doesn't seem 2 minutes ago that Mona said she was going to kill herself. You know,
Yeah, yeah. And if I remember, Thirsty Girls, that chapter was like long. Like the
I
chapters for
didn't.
Thirsty.
Sorry, I didn't actually play most of them chapters. To be honest, I didn't play the last two. I can't remember what happened, but you told me anyway. But yeah, I.
Yeah, yeah, like the chapters were a bit longer, but
Mhm.
the last chapter felt like it was a bit, short. I mean, stuff happened in the usual Dream Zone,
Yeah.
way, but um, the ending. It's just now we have too many cliffhangers in like semi books. Like I don't know if you want to call them complete books because 8 chapters only.
Yeah, it's compared to like like all the other books. I don't mind it if it's done properly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that feeling too. That something more could have been done with that. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
still like guilty pleasure. It is one of the best plot line in Dream Zone, the way it goes, and we still don't know whether Angel is alive or dead, and who is behind all this. We all anticipated, you and I, that it's gonna be some female who's behind all this, probably Hal. But well, that guy, I forgot his name, something like Hangman. Yeah, Hangman.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a weird twist. What do you think about that? Did you expect that, like, all of a sudden to happen?
No, because I'm just going to say something now. I don't. Do I think he's the main threat? No. Do I think it's him who did some of the stuff about this? Yes. But we're not thinking of something here.
Hmm.
How did he get
What is it
access
then?
to our place? Who told him about our
Exactly.
place? Who told him where we live?
Exactly.
There's
And
only a couple
also,
of people. Sorry
yeah,
to say this, but a couple of people who know. Well, more or less all the people. The main ones I'd say are Hal. Is it Hal? Yeah, Hal.
yeah, how,
Hal, is it? What's her name again? The one who got kidnapped.
Angela.
Um, Angela, her, and probably I can't see it being Mona or Olivia, but like that's the thing. Somebody needed to have told him where we live.
And also, one suspicious thing, I don't know if you noticed it, Sharon was also in that club.
I I did say, didn't I, that all the people we've been knowing and all what's been said.
Yeah, it's like a very from, like the same kind of plot line from Thirsty Girls.
Yep. And to me, where does Angela fit into all of this? That's what I want to know.
I don't know, like, I don't even know, like, she's Schrodinger's cat, dead and alive at the same time, man.
I know. I get. Do I think she's going to be the main love interest though? I
Yeah,
look.
I thought that too, that she's gonna be the main love interest, but so far, things took
No.
an unexpected turn, and now I think like she could be a goner for good, man.
Either a goner or she did it herself with her sister.
That that would be
Just
interesting. Now here's the twist. We will never know. I mean, we don't know when these books are gonna get a book two, because if it had 16 chapters, we would have more content. But now with 8 chapters, like it's like, we never know when they're gonna get book two. So and how those book twos are gonna go. I mean, there's something Dream Zone planning, because I think Honeywood was the last book where we had cards. In Hostel Story, we did not even get a single card, and after that, we got some new books with half chapters. It became a trend, and I don't know, because at one point after Hostel Story, there was a big gap, and people thought
yeah,
Dream Zone has abandoned us or something. But then we got books starting from adult education. We were really
yeah,
excited about that. I still remember back in December. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like something's definitely going on. Like we were speculating, maybe they're planning a big sequel to some OG books. So that's why these filler books and stuff are there.
yeah.
But we will never know.
No. And we haven't even talked about Incognito mode yet.
Yeah.
And
But imagine Hostel Story is their first book and like the OG series in Dream Zone, and that book ended with Hostel Story book 3, and there was no card, like literally no card, and that was the last book of the series.
yeah, it's I don't, unless they've been told they're not allowed to do stuff like that anymore.
Well, that could be it,
But
because there's 17 plus things and stuff, loopholes, and like could be,
I
could be.
don't. I don't think they would have took it down because of that. Like, I don't think they would have took the cards down just because they've been told not to. Because I've seen more vulgar things on the app, like on any loads of other apps as well.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it to me, I think it's a lose-lose situation in a way for Dream Zone if you think about it, because they had a big break, and yes, the books they're bringing them out, but they're only 8 chapters. But if they did a 16 chapter on it, it'd probably take a lot more time. And they know people like this, so if they make 16 chapter books, it'll take them a lot longer, and then people are going to be angry they haven't released the book yet. But I'm still holding out hope. It's better.
Yeah.
The books what are releasing, some of the books what are releasing in Dream Zone are better than choices at the moment. So let's just say that.
If not most of the books, yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, like to gather my thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's good to have at least something. You know, something's better than nothing. And you know, the content we're getting, like for instance, one chapter of Guilty Pleasure. When we read it, it has
Yeah.
more stuff happening, more action. It has more plot. It has, and it has some of the erotic moments, but also it has like more to the plot. Unlike many other stories and many other apps, so it's good to have something. Like something's better than nothing.
Exactly, that's what I said. But then people are going to get annoyed because of the quality and the quantity of the books.
Yeah.
So it's like Dream Zone can't win.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's like double-edged sword.
exactly, double-edged sword. They can't really win. Yeah.
Exactly. But now it's coming to um, the other book, Incognito Mode. Wow. I mean, to be honest, don't get me wrong, but I kind of hope something like that happened because I don't think I didn't think that we would just get Brittney that easily. Like that was never in the question. Like probably we're not never gonna see Brittney in this book if it's an 8 chapters book.
Now, I did say I didn't really like it at start, but now we've got that stuff with that Frunk guy out of the way. I said it'd pick up after that, and it has, and it's like, to me, I don't know. I'm going to hold off until a few more chapters are released, but it's probably got, I will say again, one of the worst love interests, probably 2 of the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like,
and Lucy, like she's so far like a blunt character, like making the same mistake again and again, like the mishap with Trunk and now false hope. Like we did all the stuff, we went through all the hard work, we spent money, and now
got
she's
her
saying
contract.
Yeah, the contract, like all the stuff we went through. Now she's saying like she doesn't know Brittney face to face, and the big clue is just a car. I mean, because of some turn of incidents, turn of events, we do actually see that exact same car. But if you believe, I think what's gonna happen is that we're still not gonna get like we were gonna get someone else inside the car. Like this is gonna keep going.
I'm gonna say the same thing along the lines like that is her car, but someone's probably nicked it or something.
Yeah.
But
something.
I fucking hate Martha. Oh my good God. Oh Jesus.
Well, yeah. But also, I think Martha's boyfriend, that guy who is still asking for money. Like he said, his cousin in I don't know which country needs an operation. I think that's a BS. He just needs the money for himself. So I think he is in this. He has more to do with this plot than we are realizing. He's in the plot.
100%.
It's actually stated there. So yeah, I mean,
Do you think
usually. Yeah, go on.
I'm gonna say, do you think we've already seen Brittney? Just a hypothetical question.
I mean, hypothetically, I would say it's Lucy. Lucy is Brittney.
Oh, imagine that for a twist. What? I can't see that happening, but yeah. If we're just going to spend the whole book just literally running after her and then not even see her this book, then it's...
I
But I
know,
can't
like
really.
loose, yeah, but like like we know, like where does this theory come from? Let me just explain this shortly. So far we have seen only two ladies, Martha and Lucy, right? So Martha is no way, Brittany out of the picture. I mean, I know Lucy is a bit older. Brittany's probably like
Oh,
more of a
I didn't
teenager.
think of that.
Yeah, but the fact that loose, I mean, we know, like, we need to find Brittany, who has gone out of the hand, like, gone in the wrong path, gone down the wrong stream. So we need to bring her back to her father, and then she's gonna be sent to rehab, and his father's gonna see if she can get back to normal life, to the so basically what's gonna happen, I think we're gonna fall in love with Brittany, and vice versa, Brittany's gonna fall in love with us, and then without going to rehab, she's going to get back to normal life and leave these things behind. So that's probably going to happen. So that means Brittany is going to be the center of attraction, or the main love interest. But so far, we've seen Martha is just a weird character. But other than that, Lucy, I mean, she's just, you know, uncharacter. Like, it's not a normal thing, but for a book where Brittany is the main love interest, as it seems, Lucy is uncharacteristically beautiful, and like, she's the character that seems to be worked on. Like, the people who have worked on the characters, her character was worked on really well, and sort of, we don't get to immediately hook up with Lucy, and Lucy is the one who is with a moral high ground, and we're sort of exploring our relationship with Lucy. So I think, I don't know,
Now,
that just gives me the vibe that Lucy could be Brittany.
that's I. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't put that better myself
Yeah,
because we didn't get straight into the action with Lucy. She had all that drama.
yeah,
We was like drunk and that, but I honestly can't add anything more to that. That's my reasoning as well. But
yeah,
I can't really think of any other possible plausible explanation. I
exactly.
really can't,
Yeah.
unless it's not even Brittany we're even looking for. No, 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 no. We are, but like I, if do you think the dad got something to do with any of? I've just been thinking of that just now.
Well,
The dad, Brittany's dad.
I that's a really dark theory, but I don't think that's gonna happen given only 8 chapters are there. But there could be the case at the end. But I don't think so. Like,
No.
it's pretty straightforward that Britney's run off. As a porn star, she wants to make her life or whatever. But I don't know. It's kind of hard. But I mean, Lucy gives me some weird vibes, to be honest. I
Just
mean, also think like how she's saying, like, "Hey, I know Brittany," and then she's saying like, "Oh no, I only know, like, there's a car." So we have not seen Lucy and Brittany in the same place yet, have we?
nope.
Oh, now I think we have. In the party where Trunk, before Trunk's
Was
that
that
thing got
actually
out of the
Brittany
hand,
though?
huh?
Was that actually Brittany though?
That's the $1 million question. That could be an illusion, like,
Could it have been
someone else, like Brittany.
twin sister or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just something's off about Lucy. I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, that also gives me this theory that Lucy is actually Brittany, but I don't know. I would have to see, like, what everyone thinks here. Like, what do you think? You also think, like, what are your points, like the strong points that Lucy is Brittany, or what do you think about that?
I don't. It's hard to say when you put it on the spot like that, but just not really spoke to any other character. To get what I mean, like
Yeah,
with Bella in Hot Story, we got straight to the action, and she was the main love interest. Now flip that over to Incognito mode, who we only really had any development with Lucy. So, but the point to counteract that is the age. So that's the only point. The dad was talking about it like she was a young person in the state,
yeah,
and she's
yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah,
this.
that's also like like
Yeah,
something that's sort of making me that that's a nitpick. Let's say I have. Otherwise, the theory is pointing toward Lucy. But yeah,
hundred
it'll be
percent.
interesting to see.
Much more to add on that, to be honest, because of what chapter we on now? 4.
Fourth chapter. Yeah. Next up, chapter 5.
Yeah. It's
What do you think is going to happen in chapter 5? I don't think even if we have seen the car, probably there's going to be there's going to be an epic car chase, something. Then there's some diamond scene, and we're going to get someone, and we're going to get a girl or someone, but it's probably not going to be Brittney, and then we're going to get into another loop.
yeah. I really can't think about what could happen, or if it's somebody we already know who is driving that car, Paolo, or Martha driving the car, or Face driving the car.
Face,
Well,
yeah.
let's see. Because let's just. Oh, I'm going to say let's just face it then. But literally,
No pun
like literally non intended at all. But to me, I don't know what to think of it so far. This
Yeah,
book.
yeah. I understand. But yeah, I mean, well, that's all we got on Dream Zone so far, I think. But so far this Thursday we have Incognito mode confirmed, and nothing. So Guilty Pleasure ended. Do you think there's gonna be a new book or not? What do you think?
Probably not.
Yeah, I
Probably
also
not.
think not. I think the next new book will be when Incognito mode ends.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then again, he did release Incognito mode while Guilty Pleasure was for halfway through the book.
Yeah,
So the theory
following the
is it's a
pattern.
fifth.
Then
Yeah,
when it does, you know, Thirsty Girl
yeah,
ended, they released Pleasure Incognito mode. So that I think it's a pattern that now when Incognito mode ends, there's a new book, and when that new book is halfway through, there's another new book, and the loop continues.
yeah. That's what I would literally just thinking and trying to say. Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's it about Dream Zone, really.
yeah. So I think that's all about dreams that we have. But yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to the new chapters of Dreams, and I always am excited for it. It's amazing. I wish that this app gets more recognition because it deserves so.
Yeah, but everybody calls it sixes. We aren't even giving it a try.
Yep. Wouldn't you want to know? Yeah. Yeah, if it were a female main character, things would have taken a really interesting turn then.
100%.
Yeah, it tells you everything about internet, I guess.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I think that's Dream Zone so far. So let's
Yep.
jump right into Battlefield choices. The fun hasn't
Guarantee
begun
you.
yet. The fun hasn't begun yet,
Nope. No,
has it?
because you're waiting for the fun in the nanny affair. That's why.
Yeah, that book's gonna get a book 4. I'm telling you
Yeah.
now. I'm telling you now.
What, another one of Sam's fucking exes turn up at the wedding?
Yeah. I mean, horrible, man. I mean, I don't
Watch
know.
the plot twist. Watch the plot twist. Watch the plot twist be that. What is it? What's the person who turns up's name? Her ex-wife?
Addison.
Watch it to. What's the biggest plot twist ever in Choices be, but she's not even actually the mum?
I don't know, man.
Honest.
I mean, that's a
How does that even work?
I don't know. Like,
No,
really.
I don't think we've ever spoke about this. How does that work? Does the dialogue change based on the female Sam and male Sam about the way they was conceived? Which I know how, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
How does that make any sense?
it does not. Because if there are two, like for female Sam and female Addison, if they're gonna have a twin, so most probably the adopted one, then their race could be anything. Like why then there is a need to change the race depending on what Sam you're choosing, or even Addison's race needs to change. Why is that? I don't understand, to be honest. Like
Just thinking about that now, I was thinking that how what's Addison not be, and then I realised, well, how would that make any sense anyway? Not in
yeah,
I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a mean way. I
yeah,
mean
I
it in
know.
a way like
Curiosity. This is just a
yeah,
curiosity.
because but I mean now thinking about it now the book really
Yeah,
wanted
but
you
but
to
but also
choose a
the
female male Sam.
yeah. Remember we Brendan, you and I were talking about this last year, and you named a scientific process. I don't know if was it a test tube baby or something.
Uh, yeah, it's artificial insemination. I think it's called.
Yeah, but how does it work? Because to get a baby, we need a male and a female. Like the stuff like sperm, or what do you call it?
No, right. Basically what happens is um I don't know how the process goes, but instead of like choosing a thingy, somebody a randomo, somebody say it could be from a different country, could be from the same country. It's donated. The sperm is donated, but it's anonymously donated.
So
So when you
okay,
go,
and who's the female one? Because if there are two females in the marriage, then whose genetics are gonna go into the child? Like, do they choose, or like I know both of their
yeah. I get what you're trying to say here, but
yeah,
yeah, it depends who actually gave birth to them. Would be their biological mother.
biological mother. Okay, so now if they choose that gene randomly, then like let's say from a random country, what you're saying. So let's say it's from Africa. Doesn't matter if
Yeah,
Sam's white. So there's no guarantee that the twins are gonna be that there could be twin. Or triplet, couplet, anything. But
exactly.
yeah, but the twin, their race is not fixed. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, exactly. So how does it make any sense with the Addison thing then? Like,
Exactly. It does not make sense. You know what? It only makes sense. When it makes sense? It makes sense when you
choose
actually
the
try to
male one.
exactly try to perceive this whole thing with a male Sam. Everything makes sense, and I think it's a male potent book. Not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'd love to ask. No, no shame or hate to
Yeah.
people who like the book. How would that would work? What we've just said. I'd love to see them try and explain it because it does not make any sense. Like, do you know what I mean by artificial insemination?
Yeah.
Like they put this, but yeah,
Yeah.
you get what the process is, obviously. But
Yeah,
how
like
would that
both of
work
them
then?
can't be the genetic mother. You know what we're trying to say?
Yeah, only
Like
one
one
of them
of them,
can. I get what you mean.
one of
Yeah.
yeah. Then
Yeah,
what's
it's
the counterpart? Like if it's one of their biological babies, then what's the counterpart? Like there has to be a male counterpart,
who
right?
actually we don't know who actually gave birth to the babies.
Exactly. I mean, it's artificial. Like the process is artificial. I
Yeah.
know, but
So
still, like
basically, they
there's
take basically if they took the ovaries, the ovaries from Sam,
yeah,
ovaries.
or a very
But you know what I mean.
or
But yeah,
Addison or
from
Addison
Sam, and
or Addison.
then no, get this. This is what I mean. They took
Yeah,
the ovaries from Sam, just
yeah,
Sam, then a random person's donated sperm. What the process is anyway, and it's quite a lot of money. Then Addison had legally probably nothing to do with their kids, not unless she has adopted them.
yeah.
So
And they need to choose like someone like I don't know. Is it called a surrogate mother or something like who actually
yes,
bears
that's it.
the
That's
baby?
it.
Yeah,
Exactly. So it could have been that. It could have been where they opened Sam, put them into, and then like they've donated. You know what I mean? It still sounds biological things, but like you said, it does not make sense. It does not
yeah,
make any
yeah.
sense.
Exactly. So in this argument, what I'm trying to say, unless or until the male sex chromosome parts, it was that donation was from a white male. Doesn't matter if you choose a white Sam, white Addison, the Mickey and Mason are going to be white. So there's a big
Exactly.
loophole.
Exactly, and that's what I mean. I'd love to see what people who like this book try and explain back to us.
Or there could be another thing. Now this is a joke, don't get offended, people. And that if Mickey and Mason are not biological and Sam and Addison were racist, and I'm not saying racist by their color, like, if they were white, they said, okay, I'm gonna adopt a white twin, and if they were black, they said, okay, I'm gonna only adopt a black twins, and then by for all the races, basically that happened.
Hmm. But to be fair, there's one thing
Yeah,
I'm really thinking.
yeah.
Sam's not perfect. Something's irking me about all this situation. What's going to be going on in book 3 with Addison? I don't know what it is. Just got a gut feeling there's going to be a bomb drop next time about it.
I
Do you
don't
know what
know,
I mean?
like.
I'm sorry, but I fail to believe that. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I was thinking Sam was better than Reagan, and then someone sent me the screenshot saying where Sam was saying to the main character that I want your panties on my table by tomorrow noon or something. I was like, what the fuck? I think they were like role playing or something because I don't see that, like, in one of those diamond scenes. Huh.
Exactly.
But
I
yeah.
don't think people like this book so much. The series,
Yeah, I mean,
like,
well, book two. I mean, don't like, people might get the idea that we hate the nanny affair. It's not that case. I have said this before. You have even said that before. That the nanny affair book one was even good. Like, it was a good book,
yeah,
but then there was no need to give this a book two. Like, why would you give a book two? And then the main thing that we were supposed to talk to sort of got diverted, but plot and has so much potential. We even talked for hours on what could happen, what could go down on book two. Is not getting a book two. So Wag the Dead is not getting a sequel, but the Nanny Affair, which didn't have anything as a book two, was a total failure. It's got a book three, and who knows, it might get a book four. So I don't know, like, if it's a porn with a little plot or
do you
no
want to know
plot,
something funny?
they're gonna give it a sequel. Yeah, what?
And I don't think a lot of people have realised this. The Nanny Affair got 2 books before Bella Pickens got a book. Do I need to say any more?
Yeah.
Do I need to say anything about that? No, I don't. It's a complete and utter fucking joke what Pixelberry is doing.
Yeah, I mean,
No, 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 no. And I know we're not even talking about Surrender yet. But, like, it's more or less being confirmed that it's in a book one. Only one book, only one book, only one book, only one book. Wait, and it is a complete and utter fucking joke. Sorry for
yeah.
swearing. I don't care.
But what's worse than not getting a book two? If the book is rushed and the potential villains are ruined. Like the potential villains who had, the potential to be like a Rourke or, really well developed villains and choices, they're
Yep,
getting
like
ruined.
Marcus. But I'm not going to say what happened, but it's Marcus Blackstock isn't the only bad person in this book. That's excluding Dirk as well, and that's all I'll say. But so fucking much could have gone on in a book too. People, I mean, look at all the posts about Wake the Dead. Of all the posts anybody mentions Wake the Dead about choices, when Pixelberry, sorry, to put it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, stuff like that. You see, probably one in like 100 people say they don't like it. Like, but yet they're giving a fucking book. What is the plot going to be of book two of Surrender? I'd like to people who like that book to tell me exactly what. Like the
The
people
same
who say,
cliche.
okay, they want fucking Lena Race as a love interest. Oh wow, why? Because she's good looking. Yeah, bollocks, my ass.
Yeah,
Fucking joke.
but like the nanny affair, like, it's such a cliche plot. Like,
Yeah.
you love someone, a rich boss who is a widow or whatever, then their dead wife or husband comes back to life. It's such a cliche plot, such a cliche plot, and we have seen it so many times. Then surrender, the same thing kind of in a rich boss. You get it, them, your ex-husband or wife is trying to sue you. There's a divorce case. It goes to book one, it goes to book two. I mean, what's even the uniqueness in those things? There's nothing uniqueness except some, whipping, like fucking. That's all we have there. That's literally what we got down there. So, and I'm not saying, choices. They want to give sequel. They want to make money. That's good. Give those big book sequels. Give Surrender a sequel. Give the Nanny
Yep.
for a sequel.
Yep.
We're not against that. They made the early VIP thing made a lot of money. So if they're making a lot of money, what are they doing with that money if they're not giving sequel to the book that deserve the sequel? Wag the
Yep.
Dead. And I'm pretty much sure, Crimes of Passion ain't gonna get a sequel either. So if the books that are most deserving of a sequel, if they're not getting a sequel, then what is the point of giving, what's the point? What's the point of giving sequels to some books like Surrender or this whole VIP thing making tons of money? I mean, what? This is just an utter joke, man. I mean, you
Yeah,
love.
exactly. And as well, the beta does in Wait for
Yeah.
Dead. Because whenever they usually say a hookup scene, it's usually to say last in this book or last in this series. And if it says book, usually more or less means it's going to get a sequel. And that's what it said in Wake of the Dead. But with this, and that's what it said in the latest chapter, I will say, as well. But then I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's got to get book two. And I don't think a lot of people know this. We didn't speak about it until like after the podcast was recorded, didn't we? Like we was talking for hours and hours and hours on end about literally what could happen in book two of Wake the Dead.
Yeah.
And then now look at it. And then literally the next day, no even joke, it got, I wouldn't say leaked, it got spoiled for that it was just going to be a book one. And the absolute outrage of every single person who commented on this post was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just see. I mean, this is outrageous. I mean, this is not just today. We have been seeing the same pattern from 2020. First started with Distant Shores, then Foreign Affairs completely ruined these two books. And in the past, we have Nightbound and various other books. It Lives, Hero, Most Wanted. I mean, you name it. Blades of Light and Shadow. Man, I don't think it's gonna get a sequel either. I mean, look, Blades of Light and Shadow, they're saying the same exact thing they said while making a sequel to Hero. That, oh, you know what? The artwork is super hard. We need extra time for that. And this will come back. And then there's, Curbed Hero. They kicked it to the curb.
Yeah,
Now there's
yeah.
for Blades. Like, how are we supposed to believe you for Blades? And then, they're canceling With the
Can I
Dead.
tell you another point? What a lot of people don't I don't really see this that often. The moment that art takes that long, yeah, but yet they have fucking scenes where there's do you know what I mean? Like the one with the princess swap, like with the stairs bit, scenes like that. Do you know where it's actually just start? Do you get what I mean? Is it do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with the love interest when they're on the stairs and the thingy, like when they updated all the artwork for is it the Royal Romance in like book
Yeah, like
one
the
and that.
CGIs.
They like that. But yet they say it takes ages. But yet they did all this for all the new books, but yet Blades and Light Shadow takes too long.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
Yeah, like people have usually two hands to work, but there are three hands when it comes to excuses.
It's just a joke, man, what they're doing lately. An absolute, utter joke. I tell you now, Nathan, if they ever did cancel, sorry, I was going about to say that. With Wait the Dead, most of the comments were saying they're going to cancel VIP. And do you know what? Well done to them. Because I dare Pixarberry to post something this week about Thingy getting not getting a sequel. Oh my god! I want people to realize this is going to be the biggest backlash. Crap! Sorry, my door nearly fell off. I hope people realize and Pixarberry realize this is probably going to be the biggest backlash they have ever received.
I hope that happens, because as much as I think, and look, like people might say, someone like, "Oh my God, you don't like Pixelberry? They're putting a lot of hard work in." Nope.
Can I
We
say
are like,
we cut in there? I know
yeah,
people are going to say this, aren't they? And I have gone back on my word a few times. They said I'm going to boycott Pixelberry altogether. No, I just said I won't pay for VIP.
yeah,
I even said to you in private on the podcast, if we equal, 100% VIP. But now, well, do you know what? I've never even told you to do this. I would have been that bothered about not getting a sequel if Surrender didn't get a sequel. But because the dead isn't, what am I supposed to think? You get what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
I totally.
look, it deserved a book two, I will agree. But because that's getting a book one, only getting one book, but Surrender's getting two books, it's like, come on. What am I supposed to think? A shit show like that is getting a book two, when one of the best books Spiritual Barrier has ever made is going to get a book one.
Kick to the curb. Yeah, I
Completely.
understand. Yeah, I mean, look, this is, I mean, I do not know because, yeah, like, to continue on that point, yeah, we are not saying Choices is trash. People are actually mad that Weg the Dead didn't get a sequel. It means, Choices, the team working on Weg the Dead did such a good job that people are upset that it's not getting a book too. And on the other hand, trash writing, like, whatever,
Yes.
Surrender and, the Nanny Affair, and we have to read some trash writing and Mismatch. They getting those, some of those books getting a book two or book three, or I don't know, like, yeah, it would have been okay, bearable, if the books that really deserve a book two or a sequel,
Got a
they
book.
were getting a book two, and also if they were properly written. Like, you said that if a work that it had 30 plus chapters, say a full story, then we wouldn't have complained about
No,
not getting a sequel. But if it's a rushed, weirdo effing book, just like Distant Shores, Foreign Affairs, Nightbound, It Lives. I mean, it's a trend. I mean, if it's not a porn, they're not gonna even give it a sequel, man. They're just gonna drop it to keep some fans around, and then they're gonna bait us. Like this one, Cursed Heart. I think they're gonna have the same fate. You have Murder at Homecoming, Immortal Desire, and to be honest, Immortal Desire can go either way. It can be another Sam Dalton book with some vampire, like they'll be coming out with some fangs, like, "Hey, give me your panties, I wanna put my fangs in there." Can go either way.
exactly. And I will say, and I totally believe this, my opinion, and it's my opinion. I will say, and I will say it again before we go out. If the Dead didn't get a sequel, Surrender didn't get a sequel, I get that it must seem like I hit Surrender, and I know I said a couple of weeks ago and last week quite liked it. What did I say? I said I liked it for the plot. Now the plot is literally one the case and everything like this. But that's what my point is. I want to know the people who love this book and whoever else you bring on in the band in the future. I will ask them myself. I know it's your podcast, but I don't give a crap. I don't mean that in a good way. I mean it in a good way. I'm going to ask them, why do you think it deserves a book two? And I think you said that as well. Why does it deserve a book two? What, like, genuinely, why? And you know what? I hope they do keep making sequels to him because it'll bring them more money and they can start making more books. What a good. But because they don't care about giving people what they want, they just do it for themselves for money.
Yeah, I mean,
Said this before. I said this in here, man, months before it even happened.
yeah.
I said it months ago.
It would have been
It's
justified, if they had given sequel to books like The Nanny Affair, brought out the VIP budget, just the budget for, Wake Did It book
yeah,
two, or sequels to good books, and to make them even better. But if they're just effing it, then there's nothing.
exactly what we're supposed to talk about now. Just because I'm just totally done with it at the moment. But I will still read choices. But I now it's not. Pardon me. I was just seeing something post. Now that's one thing. Thinking about it. Is that do you why went on a book break? I, I firmly believe that. Man. You know,
Yeah,
I
totally.
just don't know what to think anymore. I just don't.
I mean, the whole thing of giving sequel. Oh yeah, we've been kind of going, round and round about this, but it's just that, like people are mad, we're mad, and it's a genuine reason, like you read one chapter of writing, the quality, like it's a piece of art. Like you can see, like you can actually feel getting like transferred to that place, like teleported to that place, and
Yes.
you can actually feel it. But when you read the other books, like Mismatch, let's say, there's not the feeling. It's a different book. Wake the Dead. You read the Nanny Affair. I mean, what is there? Like so short chapters, just hooking up and nothing else, man. Book and that getting a book
Do you know?
three.
Do you know what it feels like to me?
What?
Wait the Dead and Crimes of Passion are actual choices books. Listen to this. You know what I'm trying to say here? A choice book, like a choices matter and stuff like this, which they do. But the Nanny Affair and Surrender are stories. Like you read it, you know what's going to happen, but it's just going to happen anyway, no matter what you're present on it, and no matter how many diamonds you spend, it's still going to be the same plot.
Exactly.
You get what I mean?
That yeah, that's a very
Exactly.
good point. That's a very, very good point. Specifically the Nanny Affair, because I have played it. I do understand. I have stopped playing Surrender past halfway through chapter three. That's a trash for me anyway. So yeah, but the Nanny Affair, you're right. That it doesn't matter how many dimensions you choose or not. You're gonna get to the same conclusion. The same stuff gonna happen. Yeah, exactly. Nothing. Your choices are not going to affect it. Like it's just a
You
story.
know,
That's a very good point you brought forward, Mac. And I think but it lives beneath. Like it matters what you choose. Wag the Dead. It matters what you choose. The evidences you collect in unexpected areas, you're gonna get a bonus scene on that, or Veil of Secrets, or Wag the Dead, Crimes of Passion. But they're different. So I
it
think the
lives.
choice. I don't know. Like they're just
It,
basically cutting the branch they're sitting on, basically.
it lives. I will say, I will add on about what you said about what I said. I've just been thinking about it the last few days. Like I said, Surrender, Crimes of Passion, stuff like that, as choices book, choices matter. Surrender and smart books and like Mismatch are always, always, always stories. You read it, it's like a book. However, what do all of them have in common? The single love interest.
Yeah.
I mean, look at It Lives. In both of the books, you don't even need to spend diamonds, and you can still save everybody. It has been proven to be a fact on the forums and everything as well. You can save everybody in both of them books without spending any diamonds at all. Maybe one or two scenes, you know what I mean? But not to the extent we have to take everyone. I mean, that's what irks me so much about Banana Affair. Like, you spend all them diamonds to help her, and you don't want the business anymore. What?
Yeah, but here people will take all the diamonds, and you know what? Because they want to hook up with Sam again and again, again and again. Like, just yeah, literally not a joke, man. I mean, the Nanny Affair book one, it spiked up. The only reason it got a book two, and the book two was only about hooking up with Sam. People even brought VIP. People bought VIP. People bought diamonds. Literally bought diamonds to hook up with you know, fictional character Sam so much. Every opportunity they got. I mean, my God.
Yeah. And I'll have a point about It Lives Beneath in a second. That point I wanted to tell you. If you
Yeah,
just
I
try and
said
talk
about
about something,
Yeah, I think
I'll.
that's where we want to draw the curtain about not getting a sequel. That's a very disappointing thing. You know what I want to say
Yeah.
about it? We all knew this was coming,
Yep.
didn't we?
Yep.
We were just
Yep. I
talking about
told you.
last Wednesday about this. Pixelver is like that child of yours that is gonna fail the exam, but when it actually happens, when they actually fail, it's still a pang of disappointment that oh damn he failed. It's like that drunk cousin of yours, going to the wedding of that drunk cousin that that he's gonna just get drunk and leave the bride and just run away with some hoe. That's gonna happen, but when that actually happens, you're so sad, and you have to deliver the
Yeah.
speech that they ran away. Sorry, the wedding is called off. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Let me just skip it to the bit. Nope, that's the bit where she was in the cellar. Oh, come on, you stupid YouTube ads. I noticed this the other day as well. Sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa. Where we get it's just after the bit where we get that thing out of the cabinet in the grandpa's thing.
Oh, is it like after killing Josephine or before?
Just before.
Oh, the
Literally
cape. The
another
cape.
advert.
Oh, the capes, you
Honestly.
mean? The armor or cape, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, honestly, what?
1 minute, mate. I'm just still
Yeah, no,
trying to
it's
look.
your time.
Right. Get it here. Do you know in the scene where just after when she says yeah, and then it's a flashback scene and Josephine's talking about blood, isn't she?
Yeah, could be. Like my memory could be a bit foggy because
Listen,
it's been like 2 years
this
since I last read the
is
book.
it. This is it.
Yeah.
Josephine said, and this is why I think it should have got a book free, and I'll explain it more in a second. You disgust me. I could rip your heart out from your body. You traitor. How could you betray your own blood? Your own blood. But blood at the end is blood, like fonted in red. And then the main character says, blood, as in like an embarrassed thing, right? And then it cuts to a scene where Astrid says, listen here, you ungrateful little witch. You are nothing without us. Do you know what gave you that power? Your family, your blood. And that same blood can take it away, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts to Astrid saying, by blood, by bond blood floors, by blood let it be broken. By blood let it be broken. The main character says it. And then get this, right?
Yeah.
Josephine cries out like she's getting shocked and that.
Mm-hmm.
And it cuts to this bit here. You take a deep breath, Astrid's words burning in your mind. By trees, by earth, and by stone, by flame and shadow. This bit here, the main character goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it says here, this is the next two dialogues I'm going to read. You falter as the realization hits. Astrid never got to finish her incarnation. You don't know how it ends. Then get this bit, right? And then just said something stupid saying, what's the matter? Can't you get the words out? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then get this bit. And then Josephine says, let's see if we can jog your memory. But before, this is the bit I want to tell you about, and this was why I think it should have got a book free.
Okay.
But before she can reach you, the words fly from your lips, as if something is channeling through you. Let the covenant be ended. Now, my point is, Aniban, about all this, how the fucking hell did the main character know about that if she never got to finish it? I'm sorry, but can anybody explain that to me?
That's an interesting point you brought forward.
How and I know it's what I've just said, but I firmly believe what I said. I think it should have got a book free just based on how did the main character know? How? Physically how? But to be honest, I'm probably just rambling now, but yeah. Like this.
Did you
Again?
No, I was asking, did you play the book when it was actually being released? Like, or later? So, did it go to hiatus by any chance? The last one?
No, I don't believe it did, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, books like that get see. I just don't know what to think of it. The writing in this is like how it means, like the main character remembering what she said, and then can't remember how to say it, and then for some reason he knows how to say it, but she never got to finish what she said. So how could he know? But in Surrender, it's just give me your panties.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It feels like, like after Josephine was defeated and stuff, it was like there was more to it. You know, like there was supposed to be a sequel, but then they just chopped it off. Like they rushed it in, the whole Robert thing. You know, whether we live or die, the main character. Then would go back to Westchester and the OG crew there. So
No,
basically, it
I
felt like they
disagree.
chopped it off.
I disagree a bit. Do you know why?
Why?
The ending words for "It Lives" was "the end." ... Question mark.
Yeah, they basically baited us. Like, they left
Exactly.
us with stuff like, whether we're gonna have a book two or not. Like, like basically a publicity stunt.
Exactly. Like the surrender with a safe word when we never even got to use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know think choices anymore at all. With the VIP schedule and the upcoming books, I don't know. I had to think of it anymore. I I I, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it anymore.
I know. It's a big disappointment, like for a lot of people, like the amount of people who've enjoyed Wake the Dead, they've spent diamonds, they have really loved it, they've come to love it, and then suddenly to just get it chopped off and book like Surrender getting a book too. You have the Nanny Affair book getting a book three even before Blades and Light and Shadow. It's just a big disappointment, I mean, I know they say stuff like, it takes time, but come on, man, you're giving two goddamn steamy book sequel before books like that are really plot. I mean, at least try to balance it out, try to even it out.
But unless they're doing this just to get money to fund it, that's what they'll say.
Yeah, and then what are they using the fund for? If they're not giving the deserving book sequel, if they're not giving Wake the Dead
Exactly.
sequel, if they're not
Exactly.
giving Hero a sequel, Most Wanted a sequel, if they're not rushing Blades to bring it to all the people, then what are they using the fund for? Their burger, McDonald's lunch, or what?
Don't remind me about it because I want one of those tomorrow. But no. I fully get what you mean. I fully get what you mean. I,
Yeah, burger,
I
McDonald's,
mean,
basically.
that's it. What we're going to talk about now, we've talked about choices. Now what? Exactly.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment,
Nothing.
man. I mean,
Uh,
I was really heartbroken, sad, angry, and all the feelings at the same time. It's just unexpected news that Wake the Dead was getting canceled. It's just like, well, you say what? And what even shook me further? That 2 weeks before this news, I got the news that Surrender is getting a book too. Like, wow, okay,
yeah,
whatever you say.
exactly.
I mean,
What a
yeah, Surrender is
fucking
getting a
joke.
book like explained. Like, I've got nothing against Surrender. Yeah, I don't like the book personally. I think it could have been done better. But if they're giving these books a sequel and if they're getting the money from them, that's good. So then use the money for books that people like or even it out. Like if you're giving sequel to a smart book at this point, two smart books or smart. I don't know, like how many times I can, like create a new adjective for that or what, because they're not just smart, but way smart book. Like at least give sequel to equal amount of plot based books, like Wake the Dead, once in a generation books.
Yeah,
And you know what?
one of the
I think,
best books picks.
yeah,
One of the best books Pixelberry ever
in the
released.
history of in the Wake the Dead and Blades are one of the best books in the history of interactive gaming. I think what Choice are doing, they're chasing short time pleasure, and they're denying themselves of a longer pleasure, elongated pleasure. You know what?
Short term gain for long term pain.
Exactly. You get it because they're thinking like, oh, people are liking these online porn sex books, give more chest hair, some more things on the chest. But what they're missing out, this is not the end, right? When they release a book right now, it's not gonna just end here. From 10 years from now on, when people are gonna, this thing is gonna grow, and with pandemic and stuff going on, more people will come to these things, on interactive story. And I bet you no other app store has a zombie book like this, Wake the Dead. Then people are gonna come to Choice and they feel disappointed that wow. So they could have made a fortune, Like right now people are
Yeah,
playing high school story and older books and they're like, wow, this is something amazing. But not a lot of people
yeah,
are saying like, oh, Surrender is amazing. Yeah, these are the core people who are with them at the same time. But think about 10 years from now on. People are not going to come to, like, if you are married and like, you have stuff to do, you have office work, you're not going to spend your diamonds or spend your money on hooking up with a steam some character. You also going to play for the plot, like, let's see what's actually there. Like, I would go to some other adult website if I'm just here to hook up with. So all the books are just hook up with them, hook up with that. It's just, I think, I'm not saying there shouldn't be that, but I think they need to balance it out. And in terms of giving a sequel too, and making it good. Also, we are focusing too much on giving a sequel or not giving a sequel. But what they're doing with Wake the Dead, we'll have to see whether it's rushed or not. And that's a completely different story then. Like, you rushed one of the best story. And who knows what the
Exactly.
hiatus was for. Maybe it had originally a sequel and they just chopped it off.
Why do you think I think Crimes of Passion might or might not? That's why it went into a month-long hiatus.
Yeah, it doesn't have a book two either. I tell you this now. It does not. It can't. I mean, crucify me if it has a book two. It can. It can't. No way it has a book two.
Well, yeah. And now it's like, because of what's been going on, what we're supposed to talk about now.
Well, I guess
What is there to talk about?
we've covered pretty much everything that was in our plate. We've covered
Exactly.
everything pretty much.
Literally nothing else to do.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm
So,
looking forward to Wake the Dead Chapter 15 and Crimes of Passion coming out this week. So yay, excited about that. And
yay! What day then? Did what now?
huh?
Nothing. No matter. Yeah.
Yeah, and Incognito mode. And if there's a new book like Devil's Deal and Dream Zone, holy moly, that would be interesting.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't know when we're going to end it because we've talked about everything.
I'm sorry, what? Your voice is getting cutting off.
And what we're going to do now, talk about, because we've talked about everything. That's it. That's what I made about choices lately.
Zone, we have theories and stuff. But for choices, we literally have nothing but just to, like, like, to basically, not much to start off with, basically.
No, exactly. And it's a joke. Complete joke.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
well, I don't know when it's going to improve, but yeah, I mean, still, like, I'm enjoying Wake the Dead at least, so that's something that positive about choices and Crimes of
Yeah.
Passion that I'm going to enjoy. But yeah, by the way, I'm on chapter 11 of Mismatch, and it's like really weird, that whole thing. Like, to be honest, I don't know what you felt about it, but to bring that one client who was against our dad, I don't know why the main character was reacting so much, because the love interest had a good point that if our dad wants to fit in Veronica's world, then he would have to deal with this kind of people. And I think, for what it's worth,
Yeah.
it's not up to like, what the love interest did. They're putting them through some test, and Veronica
Yeah,
should have been the one
that's
to
fine.
stand up for dad.
Exactly. That's fine. But have you got to the bit what Veronica, Josephine,
Jacqueline, Jack.
Jacqueline does? Have you got up to that kind of bit yet? Well,
Oh yeah, I mean,
I won you.
when Robert comes in.
Yeah. Now I get what I. This is where it's going to get controversial. I get what the main character did was wrong, and getting angry and all that, and Jacqueline and that. But what Jacqueline does after that was even 10 times worse. Nobody can tell me different.
Yep, but it's just way too cliche.
Yeah.
Like it's like sitting through like, it's like sitting through an awkward family conversation.
Mm. And yet people told us that it were realistic, that book.
I don't know. It's just really weird, like, when there is no point of, like, arguing, fighting, they're fighting, and really weird. Like, Maggie's character. I mean, I don't know. Like, Maggie's like really a weird. Like, at first there was something different, and I don't know. Like, did the writers forget what Maggie was initially?
I reckon they tried to bait us as well. I know it said a single love interest book at the start, but she would have made a better love interest than Jacqueline, hands down. That's my opinion.
Yeah, but the only thing that kept this book, some good music. That was also with every heartbeat music, not its original music. And at first, the Drew and Veronica's chemistry until this big dinner event, and the cockiness of the love interest. But it's too much overshadowed by like earlier chapters were too much fighting, and then it's coming back again.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. But again, I was playing High School Story Class Act Book 3, and I was just realizing like we don't have a sex scene, not a single sex scene, but still like how much we feel connected to all the characters and the plot. Like
Yep.
miss the old days, to be honest.
100%.
And it's one of the top 10 books.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's about that's about it. I mean, we've pretty much covered everything. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope, nothing at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Like we talked about Dream Zone, where we had most to share, and for choices, it was just pointing out what was wrong about choices. But other than that, it's just it's so worse these days. Like it's like broken down.
Exactly. Literally nothing
Yeah.
else more to add.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna get worse from here. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
waiting at the moment for the announcement of Blades 2 cancellation, man. I mean, I don't know like what my reaction would be if that actually happens. A lot of people are saying it could happen, given the history. People are not trusting choices because they've canceled Hero, Most Wanted, Ride or Die. So I don't really know.
I know. But yeah, literally that's it in there, man, innit? No more to do. No more to talk about.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I
So,
guess.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was fun, fun 1 hour hanging out with you, talking about Dream Zone mainly, and then ranting about choices and their effing weird decisions. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what we can do the next week. Uh, but yeah, I think we need to pick up on our ranking again. I mean, we just ranked few books and choices, and we need to complete the list. So we'll start picking that up from next week since we don't have much in choices. We'll rank up the books after talking about Dream Zone Incognito mode, or if there's a new book.
Yeah, well, that's about it then, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. All right, then
Yeah.
I will see you, and you stay safe, take care, and have a blessed week.
Right, you too.
Thanks, mate.
Talk
Bye.
soon.